What's going on, 49er faithful? You are tuned in to the Friday night edition of the Keeping the Faith live show here live on YouTube. I'm JD, and things you guys might be taking a look at the stream here, and things might be looking a little different. They might be sounding a little different. You might see a couple different features and whatnot. Your boy finally learned StreamYard. So I got around to finally learning StreamYard. It's only taken me a million years, but better late than never, I suppose. And we are live. And I didn't want to miss out on a faithful Friday live show. So I said, what the hell? Let's go live. Let's test this thing out, work out all the kinks. I know it's not going to be perfect, but that's what the off season's for, right? Working on your technique, getting better at the things you're not good at, getting ready for the real thing come the NFL season. So with that, please, guys, if you're watching this, if you're listening, let me know in the live chat, how do I sound? How does it look? How was the music? Was it too high? Is my mic too high? Let me know. Give me some constructive feedback. I'm open to all criticism, all advice, what have you. But with that, we are live here on the Friday night edition of Keeping the Faith. And I got a few things on my mind. And things are going to be done a little bit differently this week and from here on out, because before I would go out to the faithful phone line and you guys would call in to a phone number. But now we're going to try things a little bit different. And when I open up the phone lines, when I open up the call-in line to you guys, it won't be by phone number. It's going to be by the StreamYard link, which I will put in the chat once I'm ready to go out to you guys. And you guys will click on that StreamYard link and you will join from your phones. My one request is that you guys keep your cameras off. If you come backstage to the StreamYard and your camera is on, you will not be let on the show. We're going to try that out and see how it goes. But if you guys are here and you're watching, man, make sure you guys drop your ones in the chat. Make sure you let me know that you're here. Let me know you guys are hyped up to talk some 49er football, man, because the Niners had their second week of OTAs this week, and there was plenty to talk about, a lot to get into. So here's how I want to lay out tonight's show. I want to give you guys my thoughts on the latest and greatest in the Brandon Aiyuk soap opera, saga, drama, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to give you my thoughts because last Friday night, I let Brandon Aiyuk have it. I really did. And fast forward to this week, and he's given me more to talk about. I'll put it that way. And once I give my thoughts on the latest with Brandon Aiyuk, I will open it up to you guys, whether it be in the live chat or if you guys want to call in. We're going to do this thing free-for-all style. I'm going to take your questions from the live chat, and I will be able to highlight your questions, your comments on the channel, on the stream. Let's try that right now. Let's go ahead and do that right now. My guy, Fazil, in the chat says, Mike is good. Appreciate you, Fazil. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. I see Danny Golding in the chat with the LFG. That's what I'm talking about, Danny. Thanks for tuning in, brother. And Fazil dropping his ones. The one thing that I'm noticing right off the jump, you know what? Never mind. I spoke too soon. I was going to say the one thing I'm noticing off the jump that's different than OBS, my old software, is that I couldn't see how many people are watching right now, but I actually can if I just look at the damn screen. So there's that. But before we get into this Brandon Aiyuk stuff that I want to talk about real quick, guys, if you haven't, please check out our Patreon. If you want to help support the channel, and if you want access to behind the scenes videos, you want access to different ways to interact with me, if you want to be a part of an awesome 49er fan community, and you also want to be a part of monthly giveaways, check out our Patreon. The details are down below in the ticker as well as the description box, patreon.com/keepingthefaith. That is the best way that you guys can help support this channel as we get things moving along. And it's just a cool place to hang out if you're a Niner fan, man. We have a live chat in there where we talk Niners and all sorts of other perks and things. So yeah, check out the Patreon if you feel so inclined. If not a big deal. So let me just take a quick look at the chat, see if I missed anybody who's here. I see my guy Fly Esai in the chat like always. What's up, my man? I see Niner Nation in the chat. Oh, you know what? And I'm forgetting. I can highlight your comments now. I'm using StreamYard, so I can highlight your comments. My bad. Let's try it out. Boom. Fly Esai. He says, "What's up, faithful?" What's up, Esai? How you doing, brother? Niner Nation in the chat, representing from the 916, or as I like to refer to it, the Niner 16, because Sacramento is. It's a Niner town. I don't care what the Raider fans say. It's a Niner town. It's a Niner town. And Esai says Aiyuk has beef with Purdy. I don't know about that. I saw a little bit about that, but I'll be honest with you. I didn't look too far into that. Maybe I should have. But I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on what I saw this week from Brandon Aiyuk. Because last week, you guys know I let him have it. I said, hey, this guy he got paid and he's still angry. He got paid and he's still mad. He got paid and he can't wear the right colored shorts to practice. He got paid and he's still crying. He got paid and he's still subtweeting and sending shots. He's putting up pictures of Julio Jones on his Instagram story after Julio Jones basically took some backhanded shots at Kyle Shanahan on that podcast that we spoke about last week. But it didn't end there, because I told you guys that Brandon Aiyuk is acting like T.O., but he's not T.O. You guys, if you were here last week on the show, you'll remember me saying that. I said he's acting like T.O., but he ain't T.O. And it didn't even take a week, a matter of days. In a matter of days, Brandon Aiyuk went back on his Instagram, and wouldn't you know it, he posted a picture of the infamous Terrell Owens driveway workout scene from 2005 after he and Andy Reid got into it at Eagles training camp and he was sent home. So he went home and started working out in his driveway. I said it. I said Brandon Aiyuk is acting like T.O., but he ain't T.O. because he's not. He's not the receiver that T.O. is. He has not put up the production that T.O. did. He's not Terrell Owens, but he thinks he is. He's acting like he is, right? And lo and behold, he posts a picture of T.O. on his Instagram story a couple days later. Can't make it up, man. Brandon, are you watching? Are you watching the show? Like, did you hear me last week? Is that what that's about? People have been trying to decode what Brandon Aiyuk meant by that photo of Terrell Owens, right? People have been trying to decipher it. What is Brandon Aiyuk saying with that picture, with that Instagram story post? Is he saying that he got sent home from the team? Is he saying that he's not getting along with everybody and he wants to be at home, or what's going on? I said it, guys. I said he's acting like T.O. and then he posts a picture of T.O. on his Instagram story. Can't make it up, man. Can't make it up. I don't know. But Aiyuk he's something else, man. He's something else. And if you're on Twitter or X, whatever people like to call it, I still call it Twitter. I'm always going to call it Twitter. There's been a little bit of rumbling, a little bit of talk about the whole situation with Aiyuk stems from the fact that Brandon Aiyuk is still pissed off at Kyle Shanahan. All this stems from Aiyuk and Shanahan's relationship. Ayuk's good with the team. He's good with his teammates. He's good with the organization. Ayuk's entire problem is with head coach Kyle Shanahan. That's what's been circling around on the Twitter sphere, saying things along the line of Brandon Aiyuk is angry because Kyle Shanahan never showed Brandon Aiyuk the type of favoritism that he showed other players like Deebo Samuel, even though Brandon Aiyuk has always done everything that Kyle Shanahan has asked of him to do, being a great blocking wide receiver, running whatever route, staying within the scheme. Really up until the contract negotiations, Brandon Aiyuk was a perfect soldier. He was quiet. He didn't say much. He didn't do much. He didn't lash out. He was trying to be, a perfect soldier. At least that's how it was perceived leading up to the whole contract negotiations. But ever since then, things just changed. And from what people are saying, it sounds like Aiyuk is a little butthurt that Kyle Shanahan hasn't put his arm around him enough. That Kyle Shanahan hasn't shown him the kind of love that maybe he's shown other players. But here's the thing. I have one simple, quick response to that kind of puts the kibosh on the whole thing. The 49ers were seconds away last offseason from trading Brandon Aiyuk to the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? And what happened? Kyle Shanahan sprinted across the 49ers campus up into John Lynch's office and said, no, put the phone down. Don't do it. He came in at the 11th hour. He nixed the trade, and he got Brandon Aiyuk paid. So, Brandon, I know we don't know the whole story, and we're probably never going to know the whole story. But Kyle's the one that got you paid, man. Kyle's the one that kept you here. And you were the one that demanded a trade. So, what is it, man? What is it really? Is it really you just don't like Kyle? Is that why you're just, you signed that deal and then you think you can do whatever you want? You wear the wrong colored shorts to practice just to piss off Shanahan? Are you throwing a fit? Like what is this, man? Kyle's the one that kept you here and got you paid, but you're still mad. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. And I'm going to be extremely curious to see if Brandon Aiyuk shows up to the 49ers mandatory minicamp coming up here shortly. I know he's not going to practice. He's still on the rehab. He's on the mend. I get that. He's not going to be out there, but we haven't seen him. Is he going to be out there supporting his teammates? Is he going to be a good teammate and at least be out there? Like at least for public appearances, man, just show some love to your teammates, man. Be out there supporting the team. Be a part of the team. Malik Mustafa watches practice with John Lynch from the safety spot way back behind the play, and they watch the practices together. They take it all in. I'm sure they're talking X's and O's. Where's Brandon Aiyuk been? We haven't heard anything about why Brandon Aiyuk was not seen at OTAs. But I'm wondering, is he going to be there for mandatory minicamp? Or is that why he posted the picture of Terrell Owens? Is there more to it that we haven't found out yet? Did Brandon Aiyuk get sent home? Did him and Kyle have a spat? And that's why Brandon Aiyuk is away from the team, similar to how Terrell Owens was banished from Eagles training camp by Andy Reid and went home and did the sit-ups in his driveway? Is that what's going on right now? Or am I reading too much into it? I don't know. But I'm going to be extremely locked in to the 49ers media coverage of the upcoming mandatory minicamp. And I want to see if Brandon Aiyuk is going to be spotted at the facility, if he's going to be spotted on the sidelines, if he's going to be spotted in the weight room. Like, I want to see him. I want to see Brandon Aiyuk there. If he's not there, I'm not sure what to think. Brandon Aiyuk's Instagram stories would lead me to believe things may not be so great right now. So we'll see. But let me see what the chat is saying while, we get ready to take some calls here. Bear with me, guys. I'm still learning StreamYard, like I mentioned. So bear with me, guys. Fly Eastside says Ayuk isn't in the Cabo Club. Now well, you know what? I think he is in the Cabo clique. I think he went to Cabo. I think he's part of the Cabo clique. At least he was before, I believe. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he was a member of the Cabo clique at one point in time. And Crow in the chat says a lot of fallout from the Super Bowl loss with BA and others. Yeah, I mean, when you work that hard and you get to that point and you come up short, everyone's going to be kind of pointing the blame either at themselves or their teammates or a coach or whatever. So people are going to blame different things. And judging by Brandon Aiyuk, sounds to me like he's blaming Kyle Shanahan. That's why he's posting pictures of Julio Jones after Julio was criticizing the way things went for the Atlanta Falcons when Kyle Shanahan was their offensive coordinator in the Super Bowl. Fly Eastside says, I don't think it's about just Kyle, man. I think it's more than that. I don't know. That's the whole thing. We don't know. And I'm not sure if we're ever going to find out. I hope we do. I want, I can't wait for the Brandon Aiyuk book or the Kyle Shanahan book. And they have the chapter about this whole drama. I'm going to be absolutely locked in reading that. I can't wait for that to come out. Or maybe once Brandon Aiyuk is gone or once Kyle Shanahan is gone, Mike Silver will drop some long article detailing the entire thing and all the stuff we haven't heard. Either way, I can't wait to find out what's actually going on because it's at the very least interesting for sure. Isai in the chat says, only thing BA has done this offseason is work his Twitter fingers. Yeah, well, I mean, his fingers must be pretty strong then. So he better not drop any passes this year when he comes back. That's how I feel. Fazil says Aiyuk has to prove it this season. I mean, Ayuk's proven a lot. What I want to see from Aiyuk is not necessarily that he proves anything. I just want to see that he's healthy and he's locked in and he's ready to go whenever he is deemed healthy enough to play. I just want Aiyuk to contribute this year. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not setting a bar high or low or anything. I just want him to, when he's out on the field, I want him to contribute in a positive way. And hopefully by that point, things can be smoothed over. I don't know if they will, but we'll see. Let's see. Fazil says, from the talks around camp, he better prove it on the field because the kid Watkins is a dog. Watkins is definitely flashing during 49ers OTAs. He's making some noise, 100%. Jordan Watkins, the rookie wide receiver out of Ole Miss, is 1,000% tracking to make an impact this year. I can't wait till the pads come on in training camp and we see what we really have in the young wide receiver. Preseason's going to be awesome. The camp battle between Jordan Watkins and Jacob Cowing for that fourth wide receiver spot is going to be absolute fireworks. I've never been more excited for a wide receiver 4 battle in my 49er fandom life. I can't wait to see how that shakes out because you got to think if everyone's healthy, the top 3 wide receivers, at least to start the season, will be Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, and Demarcus Robinson. Now, with Demarcus Robinson likely to be suspended early on in the season, that leaves a spot for either Jacob Cowing or Jordan Watkins to get a lot of playing time early on in the year. And if Ricky Pearsall can't stay healthy, it's really going to open some things up. And then, of course, late in the year when Aiyuk returns, all bets are out the window. I mean, that's going to be one heck of a conversation that Kyle Shanahan has to have with one of his wide receivers saying, hey, Aiyuk's back, man. I'm sorry. You got to go to the bench. That's not going to be a comfortable conversation. So we'll see how all that stuff goes. But okay, I hit on the Aiyuk stuff, and I think you guys have heard me talk about that enough. So here's what we're going to do. You guys can either ask me any question that you want in the chat, or I'm going to go ahead and open up the StreamYard link, the call-in link, and you guys can call in. Now, remember, my rule, keep your camera off. Keep your camera off at all times. That's the rule for the call-in. So give me 1 second, guys. Like I said, this is my first time kind of doing this. I mean, I'm familiar with StreamYard, but I've actually physically doing it myself is new. So bear with me. And if I could get a mod, and if there is a mod in the chat, please pin this because it will not let me pin it from StreamYard. So there we go. Maybe I'll pin it from my phone. I can actually do that. I can go ahead and pin it from my phone. No, that's not it. Nope. What are you doing? Sorry, guys. 1 second. It's not letting me. It's not letting me. Okay. Anyway, see, that's, technical difficulties a little bit, but not a big deal. We'll figure it out. Let's see. If you guys can pin it, please do. If there's a mod in the chat right now, please pin the StreamYard link. But if you can't, no big deal. But that is your call-in link for the show tonight. Make sure your camera is off, and I will go ahead and bring you on to the show. You can talk about the Aiyuk conversation that we're having, or anything else 49er related coming out of OTAs, whatever you guys want to talk about here tonight, because it's the Faithful Friday call-in show, and it's a free-for-all, man. Whatever 49er topic you guys want to get into, I am more than happy to discuss here tonight. Until we get someone who wants to call in, I will take questions from the live chat. And if you are backstage, if you call in and I don't get you right away, just hang tight. I will bring you up. But I see a question here. Niner Nation in the chat asking, record prediction? That's not something I think I've addressed it maybe once, but not formally, not in a video, not on a stream sort of thing. I haven't really gone out of my way to make a record prediction. But given the 49ers schedule this year, given the let's be real, it's an easy schedule. Given the 49ers easy slate of games, given the veteran leadership that this team has, the young talent that this team has brought in and also is continuing to develop from last season, given the fact that they've just acquired Bryce Huff to help round out their defensive line in a big way, I think the Niners, in my opinion, I believe the 49ers will go 11-6 this year. That's my guess. I know that's maybe a little conservative. Some people think, they could go 12-5, 13-4, like the schedule's super easy. It's a very different looking team. It's a very young team. And not to mention, you have a new defensive coordinator, and people want to talk about the cohesion of bringing Robert Saleh back. And I get that. He's a familiar face to some, but overall, this team looks drastically different from when Robert Saleh was here before. So it's a new scheme for a ton of these guys. It's a new scheme for a ton of those guys on defense, man. And so I'm not banking on everything just gelling out the gate. I think there's going to be some hiccups. I think the Niners, and they do this every year, the Niners lose a game or two that they have no business losing. And given the fact that there's been so many changes, given the fact that this team looks so different on both sides of the ball, I'm thinking 11-6. I'm going to play it safe, and I think 11-6 is kind of right where the Niners land. They'll be a playoff team. Will they win the NFC West? We'll see. But I think they'll be a playoff team for sure. But 11-6, that's right about where I'm at. That's right about where I'm at. Eddie Gray in the chat says, is the call-in line active? It is. It is. The call-in line is active. I'll put the StreamYard link in once again, and you guys can hit that and come in to the live show. Again, the rules. Keep your camera off. That is the rule. Keep your camera off. Let's see. Esai says, JD, you should post up the schedule and go through it game by game in detail. Maybe I'll do that at some point. Not tonight. but that's an idea. I should do that. I should have did that when the schedule came out, but I will do that. Maybe right before the season we can go ahead and do a video like that. But like I said, I'm still learning the whole StreamYard thing, and I'm not quick enough to get the schedule pulled up and do all that. I gotta. Your boy's got to learn. Your boy's got to learn. All right. So we have a caller. Let's try it out. Let's see how it goes. Eddie, you're on the stream with JD. What's going on, man? Where are you from?
Hi, JD. It's Eddie. I'm
What's
calling
going?
from, as I would say, enemy sheep territory
So you're down in LA?
down in LA. That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay. So what's on your mind tonight, man? What are you thinking?
So right now, it's on the mind. I'm thinking on the BA situation. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was a former team captain. If I'm not mistaken. If
I
not, I know
I
for a
don't believe
fact.
Ayuk's ever gotten the captain's patch. I
Oh, he
don't think
hasn't got it. Ah,
I,
okay, good. Well,
Debo was the captain.
he's one of the most looked up receivers in the wide receiving core. Right now, all eyes are on him, not just because of the drama and all the stuff that he's been stirring up recently, all that stuff, just simply because of that contract. I'm really, really concerned about that contract getting the best out of him or coming out with another AB type of situation. That's one of my biggest concerns, and that can affect to the rest of the receiving core, especially that we got a lot of young bucks out in that wide receiving room. They always we always learn from the pros, right? We always learn from the veterans. So BA needs to really set that example, not just because of the contract, but also what position he's in that locker room. And if I recall, a couple call-in shows recently, you asked us what were one of the things that we're looking forward to this year. I'm really looking forward to that defense. That defense was really rebuilt. Like you said, it's a familiar face with Salah as defensive coordinator, calling the defensive plays. But I also do think I see them also maybe even 10-7. I don't see it 11-6. I think it would be 10-7 just because of that last divisional game. I believe it's with Arizona,
Against
if I'm not
Seattle.
mistaken, or
Seattle
Seattle.
was the last.
Seattle.
Yeah.
I think that divisional game is not gonna be like that. I think it's gonna be a game similar to the Rams game where the division's already locked in. It's just playoff seeding and just resting up the players. I really see a scenario similar to that, 10-7, just simply because we're a brand new rebuilt team. But I do see us being a playoff team. It would be stellar for three back-to-back teams, not only being the host city but winning it all. But I don't see us doing that this year. It would be exciting though.
Yeah, Eddie, man, I like your points, man. I'm feeling what you're saying. 10-7, 11-6. We're in the same ballpark. You know what I mean? And so I would venture to say, if the team stays relatively healthy, if the ball bounces their way, if they get some things to go their way, I don't think 11-6 is out of the question. Maybe there's a couple key injuries. Maybe Christian McCaffrey isn't himself. A number of things can happen. Maybe the defense does not come along as quickly as we would hope, given the fact that there's a ton of young players on this team, especially on the defensive line. But I think we're kind of on the same page.
Or maybe the other way of the ball. The defense is meeting our expectations, and offense is taking a step back. Or maybe Purdy is not the guy that we all thought he was. Maybe he's now really showing that Mr. Irrelevant side of things. I'm not a Purdy doubter, but usually we've seen it time and time again. All our homegrown talent on their first year after a contract, they always take a little bit of a step back. I do think that could happen with Purdy, especially towards the second half of the year. We're getting those colder climate games, and he's not necessarily known for slinging that rock colder climate games. So that could cost us and take a step back. But I do see us being a playoff team. It's going to be a tough competition considering that the Cowboys division and Green Bay's division are not playing any games.
On your Brock Purdy cold weather statement that you made. The second half of the year, the Niners are actually really fortunate that 5 of their last 8 games are at home. And not only that, in week 16, when they're on Monday Night Football against the Colts, that's in a dome. So they're not going to have to worry about the weather there. They do have Cleveland in Cleveland on November 30th. That's probably going to be their only real cold weather game of the year. Other than that, I think the Niners actually got kind of lucky with the way the schedule shakes out in terms of cold weather games and Brock Purdy having to deal with the elements.
Okay, that's definitely gonna help us out. Probably I don't have the schedule off the top of my noggin, exactly where everybody's playing, how it's exactly synchronized. I do know the opponents, just permanently don't remember how the schedule is set. If we're visiting, if we're being local. Back to the statement of being the third team in NFL history to not only host a team, being the host city in the Super Bowl, but winning it all. I think that's a little bit. That's a little bit of a reach with teams like Eagles, who just won a Super Bowl recently. Detroit, not messing around. Minnesota could probably mess around in there too. I don't see them taking the North, but they could mess around. Green Bay is looking really sharp. That whole Cowboys division is looking really sharp. It's just a matter of what kind of team we want to be.
Absolutely. Well,
And
hey,
take
Eddie,
care of our
man,
business and let it resolve how it got to be resolved. And I'll give everybody else a shot.
absolutely, man. Well, hey, Eddie, don't be a stranger, man. Call back next time we're live. Good, strong call. You had a lot of takes. I appreciate you calling, man. And you're the first one to call in with the StreamYard. So I appreciate that, man. Again, guys, the new way to call into the show, you're not calling a phone number anymore. We're doing StreamYard. Your boy finally learned StreamYard. I'm not using OBS anymore. Maybe down the line or at some point, maybe I'll do the phone again. Who knows? But we're trying out the whole StreamYard thing. So if you want to call in, now is your shot. There is the StreamYard link in the chat. If there is a moderator in the chat currently, please pin the StreamYard link so it stays there and people can just see the link at all times and I don't have to keep posting it. But not a big deal if I have to do that. If you want to call in, now is your shot. The link is pinned or the link is in the chat. And the only request is that you guys keep your camera off. That is my request. So keep your camera off and I will bring you up on stage and we can talk some Niners. I hit on the Brandon Aiyuk saga. We can talk about anything out of OTAs, whether you want to talk the emergence of Jordan Watkins or Jacob Cowing. Trent Williams showed up at OTAs this week. Big sign, big news for the 49ers, knowing that Trent Williams is ready to go. And, we can hit on anything you guys want. And, of course, I will always take your questions in the live chat. So drop your questions in the chat, and we can do a Q&A there as well. I see Danny Fan saying last place in the NFC West. Danny Fan, I'm curious to know who you're a fan of, but your avatar doesn't give me any information, but it's all good. He says the Niners will finish last in the NFC West. We'll see. With the Niners schedule, I would be willing to bank on it that they don't finish last in the NFC West. And to the caller's point about, the other strong teams in the NFC, that's absolutely true. There is a ton of strong teams in the conference. But the saving grace for the Niners this year is that they have the easiest schedule, at least on paper, in recent memory. And that alone should have the Niners in the conversation. I mean, I know the Niners are a young team. They're a vastly different looking team. They are rebuilt in a number of ways, and they're still building in a number of ways. But given how easy this 49ers schedule is, and given the fact that this team is still surrounded with a core group of guys who have been there and done it, right? If the Niners finished first in the NFC and had home field advantage, would anyone really be surprised? That's what makes this season so exciting to me because you have a core veteran group who has been there, done it. You have a lot of young talent who is going to be emerging this year. You have a head coach who has been there and done it. You have a defensive coordinator who has been here and done it, right? And you also have a very easy schedule, but you also have a lot of unproven guys, a lot of young players, rookies, second year guys who have not done it. So it's really unpredictable. That's what's going to make this season so fun. I mean, the last few years, outside of 2024, you go 2023, 2022, you get to the regular season and you go, okay, wake me up when it's January, because you knew the 49ers were going to be in the playoffs. And so it made the regular season a little less interesting at times because we knew this team was stacked. We knew this roster was one of the best in the NFL. And so guys like me, of course, I'm locked in every week. I'm a season ticket holder. I go to every game. But I'm like, come on, get me to January. Get me to January, and then we can talk, But now there is so much uncertainty, so much newness around this 49ers team. I'm excited. I'm excited for preseason. I'm excited for training camp. I'm excited for anything that I can get when it comes to the 49ers this year because there is so much unknown, so much growth, so much newness, so much, to look forward to. And it's going to be fun to watch no matter what happens. This is going to be a growing year in a lot of respects, and it's also going to be a year that kind of tells you who certain guys are. And it's going to be a fun season, no matter what happens. I'm excited, no matter what. So, if you guys want to call in, the StreamYard link is in the chat, and go ahead and hit the link, call into the show, and give your take. Let me know what you guys think. We can hit on any 49er topic that you guys want. Tonight is a 49er free for all on the Keeping the Faith Faithful Friday call-in show. Of course, my only request, keep your camera off. If you turn your camera on, you will be banned. You will not be able to call into the show again if you turn your camera on. So keep your camera off, and I will bring you up, and we can chop it up. We can talk some Niners. So I am seeing a couple new names in the chat randomly. Danny Fan is having fun spamming the chat. That's all good. I see another Danny in the chat as well. Niner Nation in the chat. All right. So if you guys want to call in, now's your chance. Hit the StreamYard link, and we can chop it up. But if nobody wants to call in, I can take your questions from the chat as well. Or, maybe I'll wrap it up and go live again sometime this weekend. It's up to you guys. I go live here on these Friday nights to interact with you. I put out tons of videos. I put out live streams and whatnot. But on Fridays, I really like to talk to the faithful and get your perspective. You guys know my perspective. I put it out there all the time. So Fridays are really designed for the faithful to come in and kind of give their take on what they see going on with their San Francisco 49ers. Let's see what we got going on. Okay. All right. Fly Esai in the chat. He says, this season gives me a little bit of 2019 vibes. I can understand kind of what you're saying because it's a little bit of newness with this team combined with some guys that have really solidified themselves, and maybe the team can come out of nowhere and surprise people like the Niners did in 2019. We do have a caller backstage, so let me bring him up. I see Fly Esai. You are on the show with JD. Man, what's going on tonight?
Yo, how's it going, JD?
It's going, man. What's on your mind tonight? What are you thinking with these Niners?
Man, like I said before, I like that they went after Bryce Huff. I think that was a very, very smart move. It's a need. Defensive line help. It's always gonna help. Um, you know, I know we're still a young team. We're trying to rebuild, retool. But like I said in the chat, man, I'm getting like this 2019 feeling, man, where if we start off the season on a high note and we go 8-0, 5-0, they're gonna be hitting teams up for trades, trying to go for it, man. I mean, the Super Bowl's in Santa Clara.
That's a solid point. You know what? I didn't think of that because this team has a ton of draft picks in the 2026 draft. They have a ton of cap space. They literally can go and do whatever they want before the trade deadline this year.
And
And
I mean,
and you know that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan like to make moves when they think this team is in the mix, and with the schedule and with the fact that they have all the ammunition that they need. And if they start hot, like you said, that makes a ton of sense, man. I like where your head's at. Nope. Esai, you dropped off, man. Esai, you dropped off. I don't know what happened. I didn't do anything. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. So call back. If you want to call back in, man, I'm not sure what happened. Maybe you hit a button. I didn't hit anything. So I don't think I did anything wrong. But call back, Esai. You were gonna give a take about something, man. I'm not sure if it was me or if it was you. If it was me, my bad, but I don't think it was. But call back, Esai. You were on a roll. I like what you were saying. The Niners, with their schedule, the way that their season starts in terms of opponents, the fact that we know John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan love to make a move when they know that this team is in contention and they have all the ammunition that one could possibly need with draft picks and cap space. If this team starts off hot, I could absolutely see the 49ers going after a big piece, especially if you see the 49ers, or maybe could use an upgrade at a certain spot. Maybe there's a big time offensive lineman that becomes available or a safety that becomes available. Maybe a linebacker pops up in a trade. I like that. I like where your head's at with that, Esai. That's not a bad way to view the first half of the year. If this team starts hot, watch out because the Niners could absolutely make a big time move. If it happens, if we get to like October and you get that alert on your phone, that the 49ers just made a huge trade for XYZ player, I'm going to remember this conversation. Good job. Good take, Esai. I like that, man. Not sure what happened, but Esai, call back if you want to finish your thought, man. I'm not sure how you got cut off. I see my guy Keys in the chat. Let me highlight his comment. He says, "What's up, JD? Getting Huff and hearing that Cowing and Watkins and he says and Travis. I'm assuming he means Watkins. Cowing and Watkins are looking good at wide receiver, as well as Austin Pleasance and Burford at offensive tackle. Got me feeling good about the present and our future." Absolutely, man. I'm loving what I'm hearing coming out of 49ers OTAs when you were talking about Jacob Cowing and Jordan Watkins. I mean, like I said a minute ago, I don't think I've ever been more excited for a wide receiver 4 battle in my life because, if everyone's available, everyone's healthy, we know the top 3 wide receivers are going to be Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, and Demarcus Robinson to start the year. Now, Demarcus Robinson, again, will more than likely be suspended to start the season. So either Jacob Cowing or Jordan Watkins will get a crack at that wide receiver 3 spot. And, everything you're hearing about Watkins, man, he's smooth with it. He's got strong hands. He's running those Debo crossers that Debo is known for when he was here. And you're also hearing about Watkins getting some carries in the backfield on plays. They're running some Debo stuff with Jordan Watkins, and it looks like he's got the juice, man. Everything you're hearing is he's got the juice. He's brought some pop to that 49ers offense during OTAs and minicamp. And of course, Jacob Cowing, they're saying, looks like a completely different player. He is stronger, he is more explosive, and he's coming for it. And I think getting Jordan Watkins is actually going to do wonders for Jacob Cowing because he knows this is it. He knows this is his chance. And he's got Watkins, coming for him, coming for his job. And I think what you're going to see is both of those guys give their best, give the best version of themselves in preseason. And I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to see how that whole battle unfolds. That might be my top overall position battle, whatever I'm, paying attention to when it comes to training camp and the preseason. Who wins that battle between Jordan Watkins and Jacob Cowing? That's going to be, get your popcorn ready. You know what I mean? Get your popcorn ready. Oh, there you go. I see you, Isai. He says, my bad, JD. Phone died. All good, man. All good. I was wondering what happened. I was hoping it wasn't me. I didn't hit anything, but I don't know if I did something wrong, but I'm glad that's all it was. Your phone died. So you gave a good take, man. And I like where your head's at, Isai. So I appreciate you, as always, calling in. If you guys want to call in, now's your chance. The StreamYard link is in the chat. We're not doing the call-in phone number anymore because your boy finally got around to learning StreamYard. So if you call in, if you hit that link and you want to call in and talk to me, we can hit on anything that you want to talk about. My only request is that you keep your camera off. Keep your camera off at all times. And if you turn your camera on, you will be removed. And if you do anything funny, because sometimes people on StreamYard like to do some funny stuff, you will be banned forever. But with that, the lines are open. So if you want to call in, now is your shot. I hit on a Brandon Aiyuk rant to start off the stream. We can hit on that, all that topic with the latest surrounding the Brandon Aiyuk saga. We can hit on anything you guys want to talk about coming out of OTAs down in Santa Clara. Bryce Huff suiting up for the 49ers for the first time during OTAs, doing position drills, rocking that number 47 like he did for Saleh with the New York Jets. We can talk about Trent Williams showing up to 49ers camp and getting some work in with position drills and whatnot, looking good, looking trim, looking like he's ready to go and lead this 49ers offensive line yet again. We can talk about anything you guys want to get into, as long as you guys hit that StreamYard link in the chat. And let's chop it up, man. I'd like to take one more call before we go ahead and wrap up tonight's show. I've been live for about 50 minutes or so. I got time for another call. So if you haven't called in yet, take that link. Call in. Let's chop it up. It is the Faithful Friday call-in show. And again, this is Keeping the Faith. And this is where the faithful matter, man. That's why I do a lot of these shows, a lot of these call-ins, because I like talking to the 49ers fans out there. And, Isai brought up a great point that I hadn't even thought of. And I'm the guy with the damn talk show. He brought up the fact that he's getting 2019 vibes because with the Niners having so much draft capital, so much cap space, and the fact that the Niners have an easy schedule, he could absolutely see John Lynch making a trade, a big-time trade, come October before the trade deadline when this team is looking like they're in position to contend and make some noise in the playoffs. And we know John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are not afraid to pull the trigger on a big move if they think this team is in contention. And I like that. I like where Isai's head is at in that regard. And I could absolutely see that being something that happens. And again, if that does happen, if that comes to fruition come October and we get that alert that the Niners make a trade, I'm going to remember who said it first. I'm going to remember that Isai's the one that brought it up because that was a hell of a point. Keys in the chat says, Trent looks like he's in great shape. I heard him say he would like to play until he's 40. I hope so. Yeah, that's been the talk. That's been the talk for the last couple of years that he wants to play until he's 40. And some people are saying he looks like he's a little bit lighter when they saw him down at 49ers OTAs this week. And, of course, when guys start to get older, it's always good to get off, some of those extra pounds. You see it in the NFL. I mean, it happens. Jerry Rice is a guy who, got lighter later in his career, but you also really see it in the NBA. You see it in basketball. Guys get trim. The guys lose weight and really get in shape with their cardio, get that weight off their knees, all that extra weight you carry that on your knees as you gain that weight. And so Trent Williams being a heavy guy, man, if he can get just a few pounds off, 15, 20 pounds, whatever, that's going to go a long way in helping him, be in top football shape come September and staying in football shape this year, especially just as he gets older, man. If he wants to play until he's 40, he knows he's got to take care of himself. He knows he's got to be in tip top shape. And I'm not worried about Trent Williams, coming in out of shape. I mean, Trent Williams always shows up and balls out, but the story with Trent Williams is just injuries. So if he can shed a few extra pounds, right, and get himself lean and mean, and hopefully that can prevent him from any injuries, man. Maybe that'll go a long way in keeping Trent healthy. But the media by all reports are saying that Trent came in good shape. So that is definitely a positive and a bright spot coming out of 49ers OTAs this week. All right. Well, with that, guys, I think we had a successful first StreamYard show. I think we had a good one. And, we don't have anybody backstage. So I think now is going to be a good time that we go ahead and wrap things up. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. I probably, could very well go live again this weekend. We'll see if any news breaks or anything. And I'm going to, definitely start getting some more videos up. Sorry for the lack of content this week. Had some internet problems, and I've been dealing with that on and off the past several days, but I think we've got it all under control, and I think we're good. So you can look forward to more videos. You can look forward to more live streams and all that. And with mandatory minicamp coming up, I'm going to be reacting to a lot of that news. And of course, anything else that happens between now and, and training camp, man. We it's not too long, not too much longer, guys. Training camp is right around the corner. Preseason, the regular season, it's going to be here before you know it. And I'm absolutely jacked up. I can't wait for football, guys. With that, I hope all of you enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Have a great weekend, and keep it locked right here. Make sure you're subscribed. Drop a like on the stream. Hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live, every time we drop a video. And I'll catch you guys next time. Let's go Niners.